Welcome back to this channel. I hope you get to learn a lot today. What we're going to talk about is the difference between a freelance model and an agency model. Okay, so freelance models are actually models that are actually self-employed, that actually have to go out there and do their own finding their work. They're the ones who have to scout, find work for themselves. They're the ones who, after they do the work, they're supposed to find in summary, they're supposed to find the clients to actually, pay for the job, and also they're also responsible for their own taxes. That is pretty much in summary. And also they get to build their own portfolio. So everything that we've spoken before about models, when you're freelance modeling, you actually are doing everything for yourself. You are your own manager. So with that comes some pros and some cons. Okay. The first pro, I would say, is you get to be your own boss. You decide what job you want to take, what you don't want to take. You decide where next you want to go, with what you want to pursue. So you really become your own boss when you do freelance modeling. And number two, you actually get full payment for your job, because agency models get there's usually a commission cut from the agency. When you're doing freelancing, you actually get 100% of your pay. Those are the two pros. Now on to the cons. Con number one, hunting for jobs yourself, it's really not an easy task, because when you actually have to do the hunting, you also need to do quite a lot of marketing, a lot of really networking. So sometimes that might divert you from your actual gift, which is being a model. So that is something that also is one of the cons, I would say. If you decide to be doing freelance modeling, you need to also learn how to do finding work for yourself as well. The next thing is, of course, when you do the work, waiting for payment. It's all the time. Clients sometimes they have certain ways of actually paying out. Maybe there's certain people who have to approve some payments. So normally when it comes to chasing for payments, if you're a model, it will be a little bit frustrating, because payments might take time, and some clients will only pay when you actually really chase for your payment. So that's also another con if you do freelance modeling. So the third one, which is a very important one, is safety. When you're doing freelancing modeling, that means you're on your own. So sometimes you might get some jobs that might not be very, not everybody is who they say they are. I always say that word. So sometimes you might go through a shoot that maybe it's not so safe, and something could happen. And when you're doing freelancing, really, again, because you're on your own, then you will be a target for this kind of people that actually are they are not doing good anyway. So there's so many examples I can give, but I don't think it's good for this topic. But safety is a very, very big thing when you're doing freelancing, because you are on your own. Number four is actually negotiation. As much as you have to find your own work, you also have to learn the negotiation skills. So because of that, when you're doing freelancing, you might end up being ripped off, because you don't know what are the market rates of that area, or what clients have been paying for certain jobs, a certain area. So sometimes they might they're paying you something, and you might think that is good, but actually at the end of the day, really you're getting ripped off. So yeah, those are the cons of freelance modeling. Okay, on to the agency models. Who are agency models? Simple. Agency models are models that are signed under an agency, or have an agent that actually signs them on. This agency or agent would actually groom their careers. They will train them. They will ensure they have the right requirements, and then find work for them. In return, the agency or the agent will actually get a little commission out of each and every job that these models get. So that's pretty much a summary of what agency models are. And so the main activities that happen between an agency model really is the agency will actually get your Polaroids done, they'll get your portfolio done, they will find work for you as well, and they will mentor you. And also when you've done the work, they will actually chase the payment for you. So for this, really, you have someone else, actually you're partnering with someone else that gets to help you on your career. Number one pro, is number one is you will get to be so busy, because with agencies they're always getting jobs, so you'll always be busy with castings, and really this will give you experience in a very short period of time. And I always ask new models, new faces, to try getting into the industry by joining an agency, because you will speed yourself up in getting so much experience through these castings. And then another point is, you will really be guided all the way. So you will have someone guiding you, so you will not feel alone. So safety really is usually not an issue here, because you always have someone watching out their back for you. And then in that way, you'll be focusing on your growth. You'll be focusing on getting more training, on more, growing really your fashion career without actually being worried about these other things. So those are really two big pros in when you become an agency model. And then another one is you will feel really important as an asset to the truth, because you're with part of a team. So when you're an agency, you actually feel like you're part of a family, and this really boosts you every time. You'll be inspired to do more every time, because you'll be seeing your sisters and brothers in the agency growing and doing something, and then they will not hesitate to teach you some of the tricks they do, because you're part of that family. So again, being in an agency is really good, because it's really good, especially because of that. Especially if you're a person that wants to feel as part of a family when you grow your career, then this would really be good for you. I mean, it would be right for you to join an agency if you are that type of person. Another point is the agency will actually they will do all your transactions, they will do all your financing. So that is also another thing. You have someone else handling the crappy stuff, whereby if the client, you've done the job, you don't need to worry when it's going to pay, whatever, because the agency would actually go and chase this client for you, and they will do, when they get the payment, they will actually deduct their payment and pay you into your account. So again, it's a really good thing whereby you have someone else handling all these bad things, which is chasing after the payments, and then you're focused on your beautiful career of modeling. Also, another point, the last point, is an agency would help you grow your career by actually they will be promoting you, they'll be doing the marketing for you. So this will grow your career much faster, because as you're doing your marketing for yourself, your brand is growing, and also the agent or your agency is also doing the same. So it's also quite a big thing to grow your career quickly. So the cons, of course, they are there as well. So the cons of being in a model agent with a model agency is basically your paychecks. You get so you will not be paid 100% of the pay of the jobs that you do. Of course, you'll be paid less, so there will be a commission cut out of the paycheck. That's a con. And sometimes also, based on the agency preference or the direction of the agency, perhaps even the way you're being promoted will be different to maybe the way you want. So this sometimes, if an agency is more commercial and you really want to be more high fashion, you'll find that the agency will be only promoting more of your commercial side of things, and that would be a con, especially if you found an agency that is not going the same direction as where you want your modeling direction to go, your modeling career direction to go. Con, which is the last con, is you don't, as a freelance, as an agency model, you won't have as much freedom as an agency model, because with an agency comes with a set of rules and policies, the guidelines that you have to do. So most agencies have really strict guidelines on what to do to keep yourself fit, or what to do when you're out and about in the public. So yeah, you will not be as free as a freelance model. That's another con. Con is if you're an agency model, it's very difficult to control your calendar, because most time the model agents would actually be sending you meetings and castings to go to, so you have to be free. So the con here is you wouldn't have control over your calendar or your diary. They will be the ones to say, okay, this person is free, they need to go somewhere. But with a good relationship with your agents, you can pretty much have a little bit of control there, and you can talk to them whenever that you want to take time off, and most of the time they'll understand. So that's it. Those are like the differences between a freelance model and and an agency model and the pros and cons of each side. Please send me any comments or subscribe to get more videos. And if you feel like I missed out anything, just send me an email as well, and I'll be happy to respond to you. And just before I finish, all this information I'm getting from my book that I published last year. You can also get it on eBay now, and also on Amazon. Please go, and the link would be on this video. Go and purchase it. It's really good for those beginners who are trying to pursue their career in modeling. Thank you so much, and bye.